Tuesday night way that you had flu? Marcia, she's the new director of the Building Brains program. So, we should come today and get familiar with things and, yeah. I know, I feel like Lindsay was down the street from me.
We never see each
I
other.
was gonna say, I saw Wes in the middle of the road the other day.
I know he was out there selling his scooter.
Oh, really?
He's like, oh, yeah, my scooter, I need to sell it. Okay. I need some 10 so I can get whatever.
Oh, whatever the prize is, that's what the kids brought something home yesterday, and I was like, I'm done with fundraisers for the year.
Sorry, we had school checkout issues.
Sorry. You okay?
But hey,
Well, yeah, I got there at 8 o'clock and it just, I was like, okay, we got it. It was just a hassle. I'll tell you, yeah, I'm gonna literally talk about it in a second.
Good morning, everyone. Want to welcome everyone to the Board of Directors meeting for the Children's Trust this morning, and wanted to call the meeting to order. I understand that Ms. Tori Woods will be joining us here shortly, and I want to thank all the other members of the board for participating this morning, as well as the staff, and most importantly, you all as the public. Want a couple of reminders here this morning. One, if everyone could turn their cell phones to silent mode, if they would, please. And then if anyone anticipates wanting to make some public comments, which we certainly welcome, if they would please fill out the form to the, let me see, left of the podium, over there. Okay, there they are. And then turn those in to Alma up here. She will take those. The speakers will be limited to 3 minutes time period if you do make comments or choose to make comments. And with that having been said, again, welcome to everyone. And Alma, will you begin with the roll call, please?
Ms. Woods? Mr. Williams?
Here.
Dr. Northup?
Here.
Mr. Leonard? Ms. Kane?
Here.
Commissioner May? Ms. White?
Here.
Judge Harris? Thank you.
Okay. The next item would be if Mr. Williams please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Everyone, please stand. Join me in the pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. The next item of agenda will be approval of today's agenda. Thank you. Get a second. Thank you. Has been moved and seconded. All in any discussion? And if not, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. The next item is approval of the minutes, and somewhat uniquely this meeting, we have two sets of minutes to approve in light of the fact that at the last meeting we had both our annual board meeting and then secondly had our regular board meeting. So the first item will be to approve the minutes of the annual board meeting that took place last month. And any changes, corrections, alterations? If not, those will be submitted or recorded as submitted. Okay. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next will be approval of the regular directors meeting, which also took place last month, but at a separately recorded set of minutes. And motion to approve those. Any discussion, corrections, deletions, modifications to those? If not, could we vote on those? All in favor? Any opposed? So those pass as well. Thank you. Next would be the treasurer's report by Tori, but absent Ms. Woods, at least for now. Tammy, could I call on you to present the financials? Oh, here comes Ms. Woods.
So the Finance Committee did not have a chance to meet this month due to other obligations we had out of town. So I have not went over these with Ms. Woods yet. So anyway, our highlights, you got the packet you've got the financial report in the packet. Our balance sheet is the first thing you're going to see in there. We're in good financial situation. We are looking at our net assets of $27 million. Most of that is obliged for current grant obligations that we have. We also have $500,000 in the budget for the city's CRA for this year, and we have $480,000 in this year's budget for the county CRA, along with the contingency we have on there. And I know Lindsay will talk about that more later. But if there's no questions about the financials, if you looked over them, I'm going to recommend that they get filed for the month ending December 31st, 2024, as presented.
Thank you, Tammy. And Ms. Woods, I know we are catching you kind of suddenly here, but any additional comments or anything regarding the finances?
No, sir. And I just want to thank Tammy. She does a great job, so it's easy looking over things. And if I ever have a question, she's always on it.
I noted in reviewing some of the comments being made in the community or inquiries, concerns being made that there was some question in addition to the city of Pensacola and Escambia County of having any mention of any potential commitments or responsibilities or whatever for the city of Century, and if that is something that we could be informed about either at this time, or is that something, Ms. Cannon, that you plan on doing when we get to the executive director's report, or Tammy?
So I can tell you, on our balance sheet, we have a contingent liability to the county for $690,684. That is due to the invoice they sent us for the 21 and 22 CRA taxes. We have not paid those due to them being so far behind invoicing us and looking at other legal issues. The city never has sent us an invoice yet, so we don't have an exact dollar amount that we would owe the city. So there was no contingent liability recorded for them, but they are in our current year budget for $500,000, and the county's in our current year budget for $480,000.
Okay, thank you for that explanation. Any further discussion regarding the finance report? And if not, then recommend the Finance and Operations Committee filing of the said report for ending December 31st. Okay, I'm told we do not need a motion on that, having discussed it and looked at it. Yes.
I just, on here it says ending December 31st, 2025. That should be 2024, right?
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
pickup. Yes. Thank you. So, there is attention paid to details. Thank you for that. Okay. The next item then is any public comments to be made. I'm seeing from Ms. Alma that we've not had anyone fill out any of the requests or anything, so we will then proceed to special presentation by the Chain Reaction Group. I see a number of them here, and thank you all for coming and providing us with this information.
Hi, I think most of you know me. I'm Kristen Fairchild, the founder and executive director. We are so excited to share our program with you today. I have an 8-minute video that you'll get to watch. It is of these beautiful students behind me, and as you see them cringing, it's because they haven't seen it yet. So as you see their faces, that would be why. We have 3 sites. So we have our Chain Reaction Center at PSC. We have our second location that just opened in January at Escambia. We were originally trying to get into Pine Forest, but they did not feel like any students would want to participate, so we had to regroup. But our largest program, and the one we've been at for over 14 months now, is Pensacola Pensacola High School. We have about 67 different students. And so what you're going to see in here is our indicators, our benchmarks, our milestones, and our short-term results from the voices of the students. So it will really explain kind of the science behind CR. We were rebranded about 10 years ago about chemistry. That's what ID Group branded us at. And the reason why is it seems very simple, but it's very complex to help transform these students to be the best of themselves. So I think you'll get a sense of that. I also hope doing this grant has been unbelievably difficult and unbelievably rewarding. I think you guys have seen that on your end too, starting a whole new organization up there, as well as us taking our program and figuring out everything to getting these kids to buy in. They like us now, but it took a lot of song and dance. And learning how to take our program and fit it to a school and moving back and forth. But when you see this, I took over an hour of video of students. It's magic, and I hope it also brings a smile to y'all's face because we're truly changing lives, and this would have never happened without the trust. We always knew it was possible, but it never would have. It's why I campaigned for the trust, and so I hope this warms your heart as much as it did mine, and with that, cue the video.
My name is Ryan Evil.
It's Keontae Williams.
Tyke Kimbrough, and I'm in 11th grade.
Okay.
My name is Payne Dorsey. I'm a senior.
My name is Gigi, and I attend Pensacola High School.
My name is Chalencia Maxwell.
And what grade are you in, baby?
9th grade. I'm a freshman.
My name is Zariah.
Zariah, what grade are you in?
I'm in the 11th grade.
Lucy Stevenson.
Taiwan Moss.
And where do y'all go to school?
Pensacola High School.
In Pensacola High School.
And then what are your titles?
President.
President.
Okay.
One day I was just walking around after school because I had basketball practice.
Okay.
So I was just exploring, and then I walked towards the cafeteria. I looked up in here and I seen all types of fun things. So I wanted to do some of those fun things.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. I just ever since my first day at Chain Reaction, I liked it. So it's like, why not keep coming back?
It helped me by make me feel welcome, with all the people. And
Why do you love CR?
It helps me relax, especially with what I have going on at home.
Yeah.
I just like coming here to make stuff, and it's amazing and all that.
Why do you love it?
Because it helped me meet new people, just Lucy. It also brings out a different side of me, a better side of me, I think.
Why do you love Chain Reaction?
Because it's a safe place to come to. Like today, I was really, my 6th period made me mad. I almost almost panicked a little bit. So here, you can come here and listen to music, paint, or express how you feel with somebody. And it's just really safe and calm.
It's a quiet critter. It's an attempted failed quiet critter.
Let's see how cute he is. Oh, I love it. Okay. Yeah, show me.
Popsicle sticks, designs, and snakes, and sometimes these right here, like this one.
you know what I'm saying? I was working on the GOAT project, as you can see over there, with my gut friend Janala, and yeah.
And why do you love the GOAT project?
Cause I'm a GOAT. Everything I do. You feel me?
Show me what you made.
A bat. No. Oh.
It was flying away.
Nope.
You're cool.
Yes, sir.
Like your boy, you're cool. It's awesome. And you're painting popsicle sticks. So why do you like it so much?
I want to help little kids
Yeah.
have fun while they're
Yeah. What does it mean to you knowing that there's a 3rd grader at CA Wise Elementary that's going to get that could be struggling with reading, and they're going to get that? What does that mean to you?
It actually makes me happy.
Because if I was in the when I was in the 3rd grade, if I would have been receiving stuff like this, it would have motivated me to want to learn more. And I just always wanted to be a helping hand.
It's actually helping me take my confidence to a higher level.
Made me
more talkative to where I could ask the teacher for help.
So now you didn't ask the teacher for help before?
Yeah, you're helping.
Okay, how are we helping? What do you think we helped you with specifically?
Really just trying.
Trying?
Yeah.
I love it.
And
Motivation's important.
Yeah, putting the effort and doing the work.
More aware of things.
Yes, man. Like say if I'm on a basketball court, like say if I'm not putting in enough effort, like I think about it and be like, dang, I ain't putting in no effort. So I start trying way more. Yeah.
I've really learned patience here. I wasn't really patient when I first came, but I learned patience here. That's the biggest thing I've learned.
Is it affecting your grades at all?
Yes, ma'am. Baby, I had like a D in what grade? Miss Style class. I pulled that up to about like a C+.
My GPA was a 2.8.
Hey, that's not bad at all. That's awesome. Let's look at it. Philip, do you have a goal for this semester?
I'm trying to go for a 3.2.
Do you mind sharing what your GPA was? Your lowest GPA? Do you know what it was?
2.1.
Okay, and then what do you think it's going to be this semester?
Depending, right now I got A's and B's. I need to get all A's. So it could be, well, and then I need to pass my semester exam. But then it could be all A's.
And helping you do this week?
Study for our exams.
Anything else?
Also, change my schedule.
Yeah. Are you liking interning?
I enjoy it. I'm gonna just hold
You
it.
get to boss people around?
No. Yes. But
Get you to sit in your seat.
I do sit in my seat.
And you're going to be an intern next semester. Yes. He's our superstar. He's a natural leader. I've watched him. He's going to be an intern next semester. And you keep some of my crazy boys in line.
Yes, ma'am. I do.
You do. You very much lead by example.
Yes,
You're
ma'am.
not bossy.
Yeah, very supportive.
You're very responsibility.
yes, responsibility. It comes with like making sure everybody's on task, like making sure everybody's doing what they need to do, nobody's falling behind, and when people need help, I can help them.
Yeah. And it makes us
Make me feel like a manager.
But coming to Cherry Action, walking past that door, I'll see you right there. Time! Like, oh, here we go again.
and we love y'all.
Love you too.
Yeah, we love y'all.
If I really didn't have the help, I would never try.
Yeah.
But now that I have the help, I'm able to try, and I can put the effort in doing the work.
I think the world of you. I think you know that, but I figured I'll say it
I
on
do.
camera.
I do, Miss
Document it
Kristen.
forever. Love you, baby.
Love you
Okay.
too, Miss Kristen.
All right, send the next one over to successful. You have to take me on a trip.
Yes, ma'am.
We just got to pick. Where
Got
go?
you.
Where you want to go? Should we go watch an NBA game?
We can watch NBA game and an NFL game
Oh, dude, I'll do that. Who are we going to watch?
and a college game.
Hey guys, thank you. I know you're both so thrilled that I'm making you take this video right now.
Hey, like, are you okay? Are you feeling okay? How was your day? Things like that. How's life? And it's like small actions that make a big difference for a lot of us kids. Cause like I feel like a lot of kids tell me how they can go home and they don't have like people to ask them, hey, are you okay? How are you doing? Things like that. But you guys do it like just naturally, and it doesn't feel like you're forced to do it. It feels
How nice was it having me and Kelsey and Alex kind of be your advocates and helping you find that path rather than you trying to do it on your own? Okay?
It was a relief
It was a relief? Tell me why.
because like y'all was basically saying all the words that I just couldn't get out.
Good. I didn't get on my phone today.
I'm so proud of you for not getting on your phone today. All right, well, you know I love you.
I love you too.
Yeah. And knowing that Kelsey and Alex, like, all we want you boys to do is succeed, like, we got your back. What does that feel like?
I feel like I have someone to look up to or someone's having my back on my journey to where I want to go.
They're awesome. And I also just wanted to recognize Alex and Kelsey. They are our program managers. They just came on in June, and the success of this program, the three of us working together, they are amazing and work tirelessly to impact these kiddos. So that is what we do, and I just want to thank you for investing in CR and letting us get to work with these awesome little humans behind us.
Yeah. You know, I had to say something because of Pensacola High School and so endearing to me. I just want to thank you for what you're doing and what the program is doing. And I was writing down notes as I was watching it. You're breaking down barriers. You're making a difference in our community. You're empowering these students through service, empowering them to self-efficacy, to where the young lady say, I finally asked my teacher for help. I mean, that as a former teacher, oh man, you just don't know what that did to me. And then the confidence that I see in their face is amazing. So thank you for what you're doing. Really proud of it.
And all of these guys behind me are seniors. 3 of them have already done our applications. We brought PSC to Pensacola High School. Who finished their applications? And Keontae is going to go into trade school. He's applying to Georgetown, and you applied to PSC because we're still deciding. But we're going to help all of them, and we're doing FAFSA, and they are all of our interns now. Believe it or not, 14 months ago, it was to sit in their seat for more than 5 minutes. Tell them I'm lying. What, am I lying? No, they almost killed us. But now to watch them, they're the ones that keep everybody in line. And me and Kelsey looked at each other the other day and we're like, everybody's doing what they're supposed to. We're just sitting here, what is going on? And so after 14 months, we're seeing the true transformation, and we love these babies. They're gonna do great things. And now we're gonna sit through the meeting so they can see what my job is like and why I hound them over and over again to come 25 times. And then they're gonna bring that message to all of their lovely teen friends to show up, right guys? Oh, I love y'all. Okay, we're gonna move to the back now.
I have a question.
Yes.
Would any of them like to speak to us today about their experience? I know you guys did the video, but I would love to hear from you today.
Tired, Gigi? Gigi, get up there. Who? You want to go? Go, Keontae. Oh, now 2 of them want to say something. So, okay.
All right, so my name is Keontae Williams, and I first joined the Chain Reaction program when I was at Washington. Hold on. I was at Washington. This is my senior year, and I transferred to PHS, for sports and stuff. But the year before, I was at Washington, and we had Chain Reaction had the whole football team. So we used to go in there after practices or before practices on Thursdays and stuff, light days. And, we used to go in there as a team. We used to make things for the community. Like she said, everything we make goes out to CAYs, to third graders and stuff. And it's just great to be able to help. And not only are we helping other people, but they're helping us. Like she said, they helped me enroll into PSC and Georgetown. Without them, I probably, the PSC deadline, February 28th. Without them, I wasn't going to enroll into PSC by myself. So, they've been helping a lot. Since I've been in 11th grade all the way to the 12th grade. My 11th grade, my GPA was at, I want to say, a 2.3 or something. And all the way from the first Chain Reaction meeting I had with them to the most recent one, I'm sitting at a 2.8. My senior year, about to graduate high school.
Mr. Chairman, Keontae, you're good. I've watched you since a kid, and I'm very proud of what you're doing, man. And don't forget to apply for our summer employment program here so you can put some money in your pocket this summer. So all of y'all make sure y'all apply. I see my fellow commissioner. Good deal. Make sure y'all apply it. It's good to come to meetings. All right.
Gigi, what was your average GPA?
Okay, I started Chain Reaction my sophomore year. I'm a senior now.
We've only been there 2 years. It just feels like.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I started Chain Reaction my junior year, and I started with a GPA of 2.4, and I'm averaging now up to 2.8, going on 2.9 now. So they
3.16 last semester, goofball.
Oh, I don't keep up with all of that, but yeah, they keep me on track. They help me with my patience. They help me focus more on what needs to be done. The importance of helping other children is something that I'm into because I have siblings that attend CAYs Elementary School, and they're very much thankful for all the things that we do for them. So I enjoy Chain Reaction, and yeah.
So what are you going to school for? What are you going to school for?
I'm going to school for business and finance, and I'm looking forward to attending Bethune-Cookman University.
FAMU's a little bit better though.
She can take your place. She take your place as the treasurer for
Yeah, no,
ACCT.
I love your energy and very good eye contact. That's why I asked where you were going to school.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You want to say one last thing, and that they have other work to do.
Okay, y'all got other work?
We would like to do this more. We would like to do this though, but
What happened? Okay.
Man, talk. You good?
Good morning, Mr. Loom. My granny told me to vote for you.
Well, good. Tell him I said hello. I've been knowing you since you was born too. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good morning. I want to speak about chain reaction today because I started off at West Florida of Advanced Technology. I was struggling in math really bad. I didn't know what I was doing in that subject, and every time I asked for help, I didn't really get it like I was supposed to. So I kind of gave up on school. I gave up on everything completely. I started going downward. My grades started to drop. My GPA went all the way down. I went to a 1.0 GPA. Soon I was just like, you know what? I don't want to go to school anymore. So my grandmother said, hey, let's move you to PHS. They said they can help you. I was like, okay, sure. And that was like my sophomore year. And as soon as I got there, that's when Chain Reaction was entering PHS. And I was like, oh, here's a new something. They said they can help me get me some community service hours, you know? So I was like, that might help me in the future, you know? So I joined, and Kristen was there at the door like, oh my gosh, how are y'all? And I was like, uh-oh, you know, I might have made a mistake. So we walk in, they as soon as we walk in, they have a little activity up for us. Like, hey, go on this side if you want to do this, go on this side if you want to do that. I was like, oh, this is fun. So I go to the first meeting, and I was already thriving, already happier and doing better. And first thing she asks is, what do you need help with? And you don't really hear that a lot, no. Like, you don't hear anybody actually ready to help you with what you need help with. So she actually said, hey, what do you need help with? We're here to help. We're here to help all of y'all. We're not here just to help certain people, or if we feel like you're too far behind, we're just gonna go ahead, kick you, or yada, yada, yada. No. She said, I don't care where you're at, we can help you. We can get you where you need to be. So I joined, and they always like helped me with my work. I pulled my GPA up to a 2.1. I took my teacher, he was like, hey, we can get you a 3.0 by the end of the year, but you gotta be persistent. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna be consistent. I don't got nobody to help me. Chris was like, hey, we're here to help you. What are you talking about? So she started helping with that, and it was just like a big switch for me because I went through this whole stage of depression, and I was just down. And I was like, hey, you know what? I don't even feel like going to Chain Reaction. So one day I was just going down the stairs, and Kristen was right there. She was like, hey, I haven't seen you in Chain Reaction lately. And I was just like, hey, I haven't been feeling to do anything, you know? And she was like, yeah, I get that, but I want you to understand that we're always here for you. We're always here to help you, and so on and so forth. And I was like, okay, I understand. So I walk out the door, going home, because I was just like, I'm still not feeling to do it. Chris was like, get in here. You don't have anything else to do. Get in here. So I was like, okay. I walk in. As soon as I walk in, like, she greets us with a hug. Like, she'll give you a hug and like, hey, everything's going to be okay. So from then, everything just went up. I started feeling better about everything. My grades started going up even more. And it kind of showed me that, like, everybody isn't out there against you. Like, you have people who actually care. You have people who actually care for you. You have people who actually care for the kids, because us helping them isn't just like, oh, let's just go paint and then we go home. It's like we're actually doing this for a reason, and it's not a small reason. It's a big reason. It's actually helping kids, because I know when I was in elementary, I barely knew how to read. But with them helping, like, kids say, hey, here's a fun activity. Here's something that you can use to help you read that makes you actually want to read. And I think that's something that really could help a lot of kids out and help us out as well. So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Tori, thank you for inviting those young people, because videos can say anything. But what comes from heart goes to the heart, and I believe it. I've had a unique position. I work at Fricker Cobb. I'm at the May Center 7 days a week. I'm at Brownsville, Wedgwood, and that's why the Help Me Grow is so important. because if we can start these young people off in after-school programs, extracurricular activities, and take them to chain reaction, it's critical for the development. And so I know their story. So, you know, it's not like that they're coming up with some statistical data. I know where these young people have come from, and I know the obstacles that they face and the challenges that they've had. And the end result is we fall down when we get up. And Kristen, thank you, because we all make mistakes in this life. And so to be able to grab them and the things that we instill in them every single day that we're in a community center, and to get them to high school, and you don't have to be a superstar. You've been a superstar athlete, but you don't have to be a superstar athlete because you're going to make more money when you get that trade, and all the superstar athletes are going to be working for you one day. And so it's good for you to grasp that and to see that. And to me, that's really what this Children's Trust is about. So, Tori, thank you for having them speak, and congratulations to all y'all. I mean, to come up here and to speak and to publicly speak in front of a crowd, I mean, you've already leaps and bounds above most people, because most people are afraid to come up and share their story. So thank y'all for sharing your story.
Thank you, guys. I'm what he said. The videos are great, but you guys being able to save us from your heart, I think, is more touching and for me. And to hear your stories are very important to the work that we do. High schoolers are really hard to reach. It's hard. And we have a lot of programs that touch our younger kids, but we don't have a lot of programs that touch our older kids. So thank you guys for being here today.
Yeah, they're amazing. If you ever want to come paint with us, and we have free snacks, sometimes pizza. We are there every Wednesday doing service, Tuesday and Thursday studying with these kiddos. But I could have brought 20 more in here. It has been phenomenal, and it is because of y'all. This is always just, I've been doing this for 21 years. I knew it was always possible. It's just a dream without the trust. So I hope all of you and you recognize that this is what we're starting to accomplish in year 2. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Kristen. And since y'all run the show, man, y'all don't need snacks anymore. You need to bring y'all meals like steaks and crabs and all that other stuff. So you make sure that we're going to put a little more money in the food budget for y'all.
Yeah, you can ask. I fought for pizza, so y'all better show up. All right,
We're done with that pizza stuff.
we'll get a picture. Y'all get up there.
Kristen, while you're doing the picture, I want to thank you and your staff, but also for the young folks here. I want you all to understand the importance of the name of your organization.
Okay.
I just wanted to say for the young folks here to recognize the name of your organization and the importance of that, of chain reaction, that a number of your activities were having you all create some things for children in the community and those younger than yourselves, and therefore creating that chain that is going to begin impacting their lives, so that you already have people behind you and under you, younger than you and further behind, that you all now are beginning to be those mentors that the staff was being for you, and that this potential for this opportunity to grow and expand as you go through your days. Talk to the other kids that you all interact with and let them know the benefit that this organization is having and how it's helping you overcome concerns of self-doubt, self-worth, and those types of things, and restoring those and improving those, that you all are very, very much a vital link in that chain that your organization speaks of. So look behind you at those coming up behind you and continue to do that. Lift them up as well. And you all, as I say, are an extremely vital. Yes, your leaders have done a lot. Kristen and her staff, you all are doing a lot, not only for yourselves, but those coming up behind you and looking to you all for leadership. So that is really phenomenal and a great thing to see. And you've all evidenced that by taking the time to come here and visit with us. And we thank you for that.
Well, Doc, you're a doctor. I mean, I was kind of like not the best student. I would have done this too to get out of class all day. And so, Kristen, do a budget amendment and take them to eat somewhere special downtown. You got my vote. Make sure you feed them somewhere downtown. And exactly.
Okay, thank you again. Now, our next item of business is operations, and Lindsay, it looks like you've got a number of items here to lead us on.
Yes, yes. So want to give you guys all the reminder for ethics training. Tammy is going to be setting that up online, so you'll be getting a link for that if you haven't already. I think she was starting to work on that before everyone fell ill last week. So, but that will be coming your way. That needs to be completed annually. So the sooner the better. I know it's like a 4-hour training, but I think it allows you to kind of save your place and come back too. So so that will be coming your way. We also are prepping right now. Michael has already started his conversations with Kessler, who's our printing company, for our new resource guides. So we've put that out to nonprofits, of course, letting them know they can advertise, send us information in that. So we will have a new one coming out. I just want y'all to know that's been super successful. We're going to do the same run that we did first time last year, and then we may have to do another run later. They were really needed, so so we've talked that through with the printing company. So we want to let y'all know that we are working on that right now. So that'll be probably about, is it the May time frame? Yeah, beginning of May that we'll have those new ones out. Also wanted to share, our other one is on our FACT conference. I think it's really impactful to hear those children speak because we had a unique experience there. It was a very beneficial training for us to be at. It had a lot around outreach and speaking with your community, but it had a lot of grounding information for us as to what we are here to do. We had 2 speakers that I think were truly key for us the first day. Chris Singleton, he has a message of hope and love, but he is a victim, or his mother was a victim of the mass shooting at the Charleston church a few years ago. He was a pro baseball player as well and had to take care of his siblings. And he really talked about what that meant for not only his family, but also that child that made that decision and had a mindset about other people, and talking a lot about unity. The other one was Christy Krings. She is the CEO of Rachel's Challenge. That is an organization that works nationally around bullying, mental health, and supporting youth. Rachel, her name is Rachel Scott. She was one of the first children murdered at Columbine. And her family has taken that legacy. Her story is amazing. If you ever get on their website, I will tell you, it will give you chills and bring you to tears, both of these people. But it was a major reminder of what we're here to do, is preventing things like that from happening through our resources and through the programs that we have. And so, so I felt like it was a really impactful conference for us to be at, not only to learn from our peers and come home with some unique ideas about how we can maybe take some of those things, but morph them to what we need in our community that have some proven results, and still have a support system around that. So we thank you for the opportunity to let us go and be a part of that. We also got some leadership training while we were there, which was really great, and some Look at Fatherhood initiatives that Michael and I got to go. We absolutely loved it. There's some really unique things I think that can be done in our community. Maybe not by the trust, but maybe by some of our other partners, or maybe it is us. So. So we've got a lot of good things coming our way. And so that's all I have on the operational side. Dr. Northup.
Comments or questions? I'm going to make a comment regarding the resource guides, and I will tell you that my time at an organization called Children's Medical Services, or CMS, that was part of the Florida Department of Health looking after children with special health care needs. We did a similar thing of providing a resource guide for children with special health care needs throughout the region, and as well as the care management, care facilitation, et cetera, et cetera. But I will tell you, one of the most meaningful, beneficial, productive things we ever did was developing that resource guide, that providers could look in it and see what other providers were out there doing, what services that were available. Families could use it and share it with other families and things. So the one, reflecting on the one from last year, Michael, you guys did a tremendous job with that. And that really is something that, in addition to distributing financial support to these providers throughout Escambia County, that this is something that will have tremendous impact, that we have multiple providers, some of which are duplicating services unnecessarily, but wanting to contribute good to the community, and we have voids in other areas within the community. And for them to become aware of the resources that are out there, they can not only see what they need, but they can also look at gaps that may exist. And so I think one of the big things that this trust does, in addition to just parceling out funding and signing checks and all, is serving as this resource guide itself to help providers throughout the community know other providers that are out there, and help these families know and how to contact them and link up with them and expand services such as chain reaction and things that do a tremendous amount of good to the community. It's just, how do you contact them? Where are they, and things. So, Michael, I commend you on that, and thank you dearly for that. Okay. Next item is, again, sticking with Lindsay and then with Tammy, looking at our various programs and thanking members of the program committee as well as the staff for their work in that regard.
So for programs, our CARES grant was actually launched on the 30th of January online. We had a great response. The following week, Deborah hosted a Q&A session. I think that there was 5 or 6 people in person and about 25 people online from various different organizations. So the application is live. We are fielding questions right now to our info account that are very specific, and we'll be posting all the responses by Friday, and that will cut off our question and answer period on our end. I just want to remind you all that you are in the cone of silence around the CARES grant for now. But there is a lot of information on our landing page. So if you do know a nonprofit or if people come to you, of course, saying we need support around this, this is a great time for them to get on. They'll be able to view that question and answer session as well. And the applications are going through that whole SAMIS system. So it's all online. Any questions about that process? No?
Well, you're saying that, because I do get inquiries, just it's okay for them to call directly you? Is there any personal contact that you'd rather them speak to?
Well, at this point, we have, because it's a matter of public record, we don't have those interpersonal conversations about whether they can apply or whether they qualify. Some of them do have those kind of questions, like, would my organization apply? And they're going to have to determine that for themselves, really. But we give them all the information that they need to make that determination as a board and as a leadership team in their organizations. But if there are technical issues that they come across, like with SAMIS or something like that, we are able to assist them in that. But their decision-making around what they should apply for and all that, we have to kind of stay neutral.
I understand that.
So.
Yeah, okay.
Lindsay, in addition to the online site that they can access through our website, is there a given individual within the staffing, if they call the Children's Trust office, that they can ask for to gain additional information because we are not able or intended to speak with them as the board members?
Well, they can absolutely, they can call our main line, and Alma can help direct whatever, if it's financial or if it's technical or whatever, so we can do that. But if it's a question that that we need to answer through that public comment part, it's good for them to do that and send it to info@escambiachildrenstrust.org, because then that allows us to post our response, and it may be helpful to others that may have those same questions.
Okay.
So.
Wanted to get that out for public information, so thank you.
Yes.
Okay, your next item there?
We have a grants committee. So from our program committee, we've had Stephanie White, Mr. Williams, believe he said he would tentatively help. Tori's a kind of tentative help as well. Okay. So we at least have 3 from there, from our programs committee. We have put out also an ask publicly. Michael's put this out there on our Facebook and social medias, but to be able to share that we are recruiting community reviewers. We also have a lot of people that have applied to be on our board. I also sent them all an email saying this is an opportunity for them to get engaged and understand what they do if they're interested in being grant reviewers. So we do not know the load that we're going to get of the CARES grant. It could be 10 or it could be 50. We don't know. So we definitely want to have a good group of reviewers, and we will bring that to you all at the March meeting for approval of that panel. But the 24th is the in-person day. So I had that listed on the agenda to make sure that we know spring break is, unfortunately, it's the way it fell, but that's the week that they can go on and actually review and score. And then Monday, March 24th is going to be our day where we meet in person, make some determinations there about recommendations to the board for funding.
Okay, thank you. And then the next item is in regards to the ratification of the Year 3 out-of-school time funding, which has been discussed at the board level and at committee level for several meetings now. And Tammy, can you give us an update on that?
Yes, we've had multiple meetings with the program committee to go through and iron out any issues or questions we had on any of the out-of-school time Year 3 budgets and proposals. We are looking to extend so that Year 3 doesn't end in the middle of a school year. It would end on February 28th of 26. We're looking to extend that till July 31st of 26. And then we'll be at some point issuing a new RFP for out-of-school time programming during that time. We are recommending that after all of our meetings that you guys approve the ratification of Resolution 2025-01, ratifying the December vote for Year 3 funding.
I'll make a motion that we recommend this, that we approve the resolution 2025-01.
I'll second it. And Mr. Chairman, just with a comment, and I think I've said this in our program meeting, as we continue funding, and Tammy, you've done a great job, and thank you for this information. I mean, quite frankly, it's great. It's disappointing that some services, in my opinion, because I've been in community centers for 50 years, people were doing things, but now they decide to get paid for them. So I don't know what passion they have if they decide to get paid for it, because it should be things that have been enhanced and changed. It shouldn't, any program that already existed should never have been funded by Children's Trust. And that concerns me with some programs of after-school programs that people didn't increase capacity, or maybe they increased some numbers, where they're doing the same thing that they were doing 30 plus years ago. So in the future, I mean, I would hope that Lindsay, in the evaluation that we're doing comparative analysis and looking at programmatic things that they did prior to this existing funding, and so how did they enhance it? And at some point, we have to say that we've been funding for 3 years, and has education increased, has delinquency decreased overall for the entire community, and to bring those numbers into somewhat of some comparative data. And so that's one. And two, for me, I'm certainly going to support this, but it is about building capacity too. When we first started this, in that we have really given a injection of stimulus to many grassroots organizations, with hope that they would be able to sustain after three years, rather than forecast out that we're going to fund this into perpetuity. And so I hope that organizations are beginning to understand that. So when we put out the next round, there will be new innovative organizations that will also get the opportunity at this funding, and we won't be restricted to just funding the same organizations and the same salaries. I think that people should, I don't think we should be funding any program full salary. I mean, I'm in the nonprofit world. We have to get out, knock big, wash cars, knock on doors, and figure out how we're going to fund our programs. But people can come very relaxed in just taking taxpayer dollars. So anyway, I second it, Stephanie, but I just wanted to put that on record, because I'm certainly going to begin to have those conversations as we go into any more funding.
I just want to chime in, and I totally agree. And I work with a lot of community organizations like you do. And what I have been noticing is a lot of the ones that are really doing the work are getting that money elsewhere as well. I just want to shout out Hassan. I've been to his program a few times, and he needed a second van, and he went out and found the money for that second van. So I appreciate those organizations. He's also, I think, received a grant for maybe, don't quote me, maybe Gulf Power, but I saw he got another $10,000 grant. So he's out there like walking the walk and finding that money. And so I appreciate him doing that work and, you know, really talking to other people and finding people that invest in his program. And so to me, that shows that what you're doing really matters and people believe in what you're doing.
No, and I do, and I get the opportunity to work with him, and actually his boss is here, Commissioner Stroberger, today. But, you know, the last couple weeks I've been working with Hassan on not just the programmatic things of Marina Court, but helping the entire family. And to me, I think that that's what's important. If we have all these independent organizations that's getting funded millions of dollars, and if, you know, Help Me Grow programs for our adolescents in our community centers are not connected to chain reaction or not connected to lamplighters, then we're failing. Because, I mean, there's no age restriction on poverty, and there's no age restriction on failure, but we have to have a continuation of programs, and I think that we have to collaboratively make these organizations. At the end of the day, it's our money. We must force them to work, and if you don't want to work with an organization, then we're just not going to fund you, because you can't cut them off. They can't sing in the children's chorus for 10 years and then go here, and I mean, it all has to work together. So, Tori, I appreciate your leadership. I just wanted to add that to it. And so my motion stands. My second, Stephanie, I apologize.
So again, a motion has been made and seconded. Thank you all for that. There's been some discussion. Question to our staff for clarification. The year 3 funding, these contracts were for 3 years of funding. And so this will complete the responsibility and the funding, and then reflecting on both Commissioner May's comments and Tori's comments, these organizations have begun looking for additional continuation of funding from other sources and all, and that is part of the review of the approval for third-year funding that took place. Is that correct?
Yes, the original RFP we issued did mention there was going to be for a 3-year time period. So
Okay.
this will do the last year plus 7 months of extension time to get it to the end of the summer.
Okay. Other comments?
No, I'm good. I just, you know, hopefully, I mean, that was our intent. I mean, it was never the intent to fund all these programs in perpetuity. But people, long-term projection, and I say that in all fairness because I'm going to vote against it for me, and I'm only one vote. But then if people enter into leases that we're paying, and those leases extend beyond, and people are going to come down here to us and say, well, I got another extension of another 2-year lease. I went in with, you know, expectations that we're going to get this. I think it's very important to educate people for our intent. It's not saying that we wouldn't fund them, but saying we have no commitment and obligation to fund them.
Yes. Thank you. Call the question now. This will be an approval of the resolution ratifying the December vote for year 3 funding of out-of-school time programs, which are listed below. And everyone ready to vote? Okay. All in favor indicate by aye.
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 Any opposed? Vote carries unanimously. Thank you all for that. And the last item of business we have is for a legal report from Ms. Bush regarding the TIF issue and situation.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. So the trust did receive last Thursday on the 6th a letter from the county attorney. I believe that's been distributed to all of you, requesting the next round of increment financing funds due to the CRAs under 163-387. The letter gives a 45-day time frame to respond with that payment, which would make it due on March 23rd. The statute does allow for the trust to again request an exemption. I would need the board to direct that action. So today we just need direction from the board as to whether you wish to issue, just payment on, on or before the 23rd, or whether you wish to again go before the county commission and request an exemption for this year's funds. Being aware that the statute does allow for penalties and interest to accrue, the statute gives the county 120 days to hear your request for exemption, which may push you outside of that 45-day demand window. I'm happy to take any questions.
I make a motion that we ask for an extension.
An exemption?
Yeah, exemption, yes. So, yes, definitely, sorry.
I second.
Excuse me. Motion has been made to request an exemption for payment of that request and has been seconded. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to abstain from that vote as it relates to my position as a county commissioner. I'll be abstaining.
Okay. With Mr. Mays abstaining, do we have enough for a quorum vote on that, Lindsay and/or Meredith?
You have 5.
Okay. Okay, so a motion has been made and seconded to request an exemption for this year's payment to the county commissioners. And discussion, any further discussion? If
And I
not,
would just add, for clarity's sake, I know there's been a lot of discussion about this, but, you know, if the exemption is granted, then we would enter into an interlocal agreement which would direct the funding. It's not simply no money goes anywhere.
thank you for that clarification, Meredith. Okay, those in favor of the request for the exemption, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
No, not opposed at all, but I'm just abstaining because I have a colleague in the audience, and this will probably be up for discussion, so I probably should limit myself to anything I should say at this time.
All righty, understood certainly. So there will be the request for the exemption made. I know this is kind of after the fact. I'm in favor. The board has voted yes.
I just wanted to add, I think there are some projects that the county does that we could easily fund. There's no reason why we cannot work collaboratively on this. Anything that we fund that they're currently funding for children's services, if we take that burden off of them, they're able to utilize those funds for what they're there for, which is infrastructure or whatever those needs are. So it is our desire, it is my desire as the executive director, and I believe all of you as the board, I don't want to speak on your behalf in that way unless you guide me, but I think that we need to find a collective project that this $495,000 could really supplement or support or expand for the county and take that demand off of that and let them utilize their CRA dollars in a way that's more effective in what they were collected for.
Lindsay, so it's to be similar to what we do with the city and how we are doing the community partnership schools, correct? And how we did the interlocal agreement with the schools.
Well, we haven't done an interlocal agreement
Okay.
with the city. They are looking at different projects. They're trying to determine what they really would like to do. But but 2 of the city schools
Right.
are being funded for the Healthy Schools Escambia at this
Right,
time.
so we could do that.
But that was a grantee thing. We haven't done an official exemption.
Okay.
They haven't requested.
But for last year, that's what we did? No?
They had never
Okay.
requested.
Okay, they haven't requested, okay.
Mhm.
But we could do something similar to that, to interlocal agreement, and, you know, so we stay
Absolutely.
within our statutory bounds that we have to provide children's programs and services, and we could work with the county, which would be the best thing for, so if you can meet with all the county commissioners, I'm sure you already have, that would be great to try to figure out how we can work together, so we are not violating our duties as the trust, and there you'd be able to use their funds as well. So that'd be
Absolutely.
great, thank you.
And Stephen, let me come into that. And because I do serve, you know, and obviously I was a champion for the Children's Trust, and I continue to do anything for children. I was in a meeting with the mayor for about 2 hours yesterday, and Tim Kaseka and a couple other people. The city has not made any decision. The politics of this is that the county is doing something that the city's not. There hadn't even been agreement between this trust and the city at this point, you know, and so there's not an agreement between the county. And so I think that, you know, Lindsay, as we had a conversation this morning, is going to be able to have those conversations that I think it's going to land in a good place for the trust. Yeah, and so, I mean, people love to say, well, the county. That's just untrue. I mean, they can write what they want to write. But we hadn't resolved it. The mayor's having a press conference today. The city hadn't resolved theirs. Yeah, I mean, so we...
Obviously, I did not realize
Yeah,
that.
right. And most people hadn't, because that's what they write. They write that the county is holding back money. No one's talked about that. We hadn't resolved it with the city. And so I think in tandem, we should resolve the city and the county at the same time. And the end result, it's all taxpayer dollars that we're hoping to go to benefit the lives of children. So, I mean, and I think with the right proposal, I think that there are some things in which our Human Services Department has brought forth that I think that our commissioners could be supportive of. I'm going to be reluctant to what I say today because if someone will, at least write me up for a sunshine violation because Commissioner Strohberger is here. But I think that it's working in the right direction. Good. Thanks, son. And then if I do get a sunshine violation, Lucy, I'm going to have to call your daddy, and then he's going to charge me a whole bunch of money to defend me for something that I shouldn't have to pay him for. So thanks, Lucy. Tell your dad I didn't violate the sunshine. And he told me you were speaking today, Lucy. That's the only reason I came to the meeting on time, because he told me you were speaking. I know, yeah, they took your thunder. Don't worry.
Thank you. I have one further question, and that is related to the 45-day period that we've had. If we request the exemption for this year, that whole process is going to take time. Kind of playing devil's advocate, if that request is denied, that's going to push us closer, obviously, that 45-day deadline. Is it worth requesting not only the exemption, but an extension of the timeline that the board has to work in, or is that already set at 45 days regardless?
No, so the 45 days is not a statutory limit. That's something that the county imposed in their letter. So there's nothing that would prohibit us from, along with the exemption request, to ask that that due date be extended until there's a final determination on the exemption request.
Okay. Could that be done, or will that be part of our request then?
Yes, I can
Okay.
include that.
All righty, thank you. Okay, any further discussion regarding the proposal? We've approved that, everything is ready to go, and so we will then wait to hear back from you, Meredith. Okay, is there any further items or discussion to come before the board? I see Lindsay raising her hand. Yes,
We
please.
had one item that should have been on this agenda. We're going to bring to the March one. We did, in our program committee, work with our Omega Lamplighters contract. They were looking at a budget amendment because they're not going to get a van as they wanted. They were going to reallocate that money where areas where they had not budgeted for their expenses. And so we do not have that in front of us, but we will be bringing that to the next meeting for ratification, an oversight on our part. But we will make sure that they are able to bill appropriately up until we get that permission. So just want to let you all know that.
Thank you, Lindsay. Any further comments, discussions? If not, we will stand adjourned at 10:03, and I had us starting at 9:03, so very good. Thank you, everyone.